Paula Pant, the host of the Afford Anything podcast, likes to answer questions her listeners send in. This is a special episode where she also has Joe Saul-Sehy from the Stacking Benjamins show join in the fun.
Hello, Paula. My name is David. I'm from Round Lake, Illinois, and I enjoy listening to your Afford Anything podcast. I wanted your opinion on an ETF that I had brought. It's the Spiders S&P 500 High Dividend ETF, SPYD. Just wanted to know your opinion on it, and I will be listening to your upcoming podcast for your answer. Thank you very much.
So, Joe, is he getting screwed?
He is. You know what he's doing, Paula?
What's that?
He's losing 0.03% to a competitor.
0.03%.
Yeah. He's losing a ton of money. No, I wouldn't lose sleep over that. You know, a competitor to they call it the Spider S&P 500 High Dividend is the iShares product. We talked about how iShares beat Vanguard before and also beat what we call the Spider S&P 500 fund. Ticker symbol HDV is the iShares Core High Dividend ETF, 0.08, and competes directly against the fund that he's talking about. So what do you think about that fund in general?
I have no thoughts about that fund, but I think that there's some broader topics here, some broader messages. And Joe, you had another thought as well, I know.
I did have another thought, which is that, you know, when I look at a high dividend fund, I think if you're taking that dividend right now and you're living on it or you're using it for something, if you're taking that money down to the Sizzler, why does the Sizzler keep coming up?
That's all you, man.
And I don't know if it is me, but we'll pretend it's me for now. But however, if you're using that money today, okay, I can buy the dividend because that's income that you're using to live on today. But if you're reinvesting that dividend, which is what a lot of people are doing, I would make sure that that's in a tax-advantaged account. I could make a case for a similar fund that's not a high dividend fund that probably gets a similar rate of return, but might be more tax-friendly if it's in what we call a non-qualified brokerage account, which means it's just in a regular account in your name and you're going to pay tax on it every year. Once again, we don't want taxes to wag the dog. But if you're not using that dividend, lots of more tax-friendly funds you can use instead of that one.
Yeah, I would say the ultimate account for holding dividend funds is a Roth type of account, because anything that's within a Roth account, that both the dividends and the capital gains are tax exempt. So they will grow tax exempt, and when you withdraw them, you can withdraw them without paying any taxes on any of the dividends that you've accumulated. So that's the ultimate account for holding high dividend stocks.
I know people get really excited about dividends. They get really excited about capital gains. For me, growth is growth, right? Give me whichever one. I don't care if it's dividends. I don't care if it's capital gains. When people ask me about, and in fairness to David, he didn't ask this, but when people ask me, man, what's the best dividend fund out there? I'm like, why do you care if it's a dividend fund?
Yeah.
I really don't care. Return is return. And if it's a fund that reaches my goal, man, get it there however you want. Just like we were talking about your trip, as long as it goes to where it says on my plane ticket, right? Mm-hmm. If this fund gets me where I want to go on my ticket, it's a good fund for me.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's the broader point that I wanted to bring out from David's question is exactly what you said, Joe. Why the focus on a dividend fund? Because a lot of dividend funds, a lot of high yield dividend funds have overall underperformed just a basic total stock market index fund. And so if what you're going for is overall performance over a very long term, and again, all we know is what historic aggregate averages, right? But historically, dividend funds have underperformed total stock market index funds. And so if what you want is performance over the long term, it seems to me like a total stock market index fund would be a better choice for that, unless there's some very specific reason that you do want a dividend fund.
You know where dividend funds were great for me when I was a financial planner? If I had someone that just didn't get the market and they didn't get the fact that if you take your dividend and you reinvest it and you buy more shares, you can just watch that dividend go up. So sometimes I'd use a high dividend fund just to show them, because it was funny. A lot of people are from, which state is the show me state? Missouri?
Yes, Missouri.
I had some clients that were from Missouri. I had to show them that this is the way that it worked. And it was really cool because some of my clients that just didn't get investing and they thought it was all voodoo, I would use a dividend fund. I would explain how it worked, that we were going to reinvest it. And you know what? The fund's going to go up and down. But every time you get that dividend and you reinvest it, you're buying more shares. So that dividend just over time is going to keep getting a little bigger, a little bigger, a little bigger. When that number is a big enough number that you can live on it, baby, you're good. And people would get so excited then, Paula. They'd come into my office and they go, look, that's up to $34 every time. That is so awesome. We started off only getting $2 and now we're at 34. It's amazing.
Interesting. So this goes back to whose question did we talk about the behavioral aspect? Was it Collins or one of the previous questions in this show? We've talked about the behavioral aspect. It was Joe, I think.
Yes.
The behavioral aspect of investing and how paramount that is. So that's what's interesting to me, that you use dividend funds as a teaching tool because, again, behavior trumps math every time.
Yep. Instead of not touching it, they were really excited to reinvest another dividend.
Yeah.
And that helped them reach their goal. It was really neat.
Cool. But from a mathematical perspective,
not so much.
Yeah. Dividend funds are kind of like, meh, wah, wah.
Hey, did you enjoy this excerpt from the Afford Anything podcast? Then click to download our free ebook, Escape. You'll be taken to a page where you can enter your email for immediate access to everything you need to know about escaping the 9-to-5 grind to live life on your terms. And you can also subscribe with one simple click to get alerted when new videos are uploaded.